Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly back bringing some more daily NBA news and highlights. As always, you guys are the real MVPs. You're coming back each and every single day. Can't thank you enough. And if you're new here, then yes, you are also greatly appreciated. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell as well so you can keep up to date with everything going on in the NBA. But now let's just take a look at everything that is going on in the NBA. But first, I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Yabwear. So they sent me out even more shirts, guys. They sent me out a few more shirts. I just chose to wear, you know, the Kyrie Irving one to show support for Kyrie Irving. Hope you get well soon. And also on their site, they wanted me to let you guys know that they have some new shirts. They have a new collection. They released a couple more, and I know for a fact there's a James Harden shirt in the store now that looks pretty dope. And they also said that they're going to be releasing new things almost every week at this point, just because you guys requested more shirts, so they're going to be giving more shirts for you guys. Anyways, I'll have the links down in the description box below so you guys can go check it out. All right guys, so Donovan Mitchell just went off on James Harden as the Jazz lost in game 4 to the Rockets last night and are now down 3-1 in the series. And Donovan Mitchell, on his way back to the locker room after the game, took some shots at James Harden, took the ultimate shot at James Harden, as he is disgusted at what it takes to be MVP in this league, referring to James Harden getting all the foul calls and the special treatment from the referees. As in this video, you can clearly hear him say, "That's what it takes to win MVP," with a few explicit words mixed in here and there.
That's what he needs to be fucking MVP.
Donovan Mitchell did pick up 6 fouls in yesterday's game, a few of them being drawn, of course, by James Harden. And well, you guys already know how James Harden can be. You don't foul him as much as he fouls himself by using your body. Whether he goes through your arms as a defender and goes up for the shot, hitting you but making it seem like you hit him, or throwing his body into you and chucking up a shot and getting called for the foul, or doing something like he did to Dante Exum yesterday where he smacked the dude in the head with the ball and Dante Exum was called for the foul.
And Exum at the other end trying to guard James Harden. Takes that blow straight to the face. Exum picks up his second.
No matter what you do, if you're defending James Harden, more often than not, if he's about to drive or shoot the ball, you're probably going to be called for a foul. The dude is the best player at getting to the free throw line that the NBA has ever seen. He's probably the craftiest player, period, that the NBA has ever seen. Comes back every single year with a newly invented way of getting to the free throw line. And some people don't like him for that. Some people have gone as far as to say that he's a manufactured superstar, that without all the foul calls he gets, he wouldn't be nearly as good as he is. He averaged 30 points on the year, but none of those points came at the free throw line. You take away 9 from 31, all of a sudden James Harden is only scoring 21 points per game. But I mean, this is nothing new. We all knew this about James Harden, and Donovan Mitchell did too. He knows the scouting reports on James Harden, of course. And this was probably more out of frustration for Donovan Mitchell, since he has to play against James Harden in a 7-game series. And when you have to go against that over and over and over again, you see all these foul calls and you're like, what? I can imagine how frustrating it must be. Anyways though, real quick, with this win, of course, the Rockets, like I said, now have a 3-1 lead in this series against the Jazz, meaning that with one more win, Chris Paul will make it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in his career. However, he's not ready to think about that just yet, since he's been in this position before. He's been one game away from reaching the Western Conference Finals before. And we all remember how that turned out, and so does he. And that is why he said this after the game.
You're now 1 win away from your first ever appearance in a conference final. Have you allowed your mind to go that far yet?
Nah, it's the process, man. I've been here before, 3-1. Went bad real quick.
Lost the 3-1 lead to the Rockets, and it wasn't even because of James Harden. Josh Smith, I mean, was one of the main guys that cost CP3 his spot in the Western Conference Finals that year. And now a couple years later, he finds himself in the same position, but now he's on the team that beat him instead of the team that he was originally on. But you know, I would have a hard time believing that will happen with this Rockets team, where they blew a 3-1 lead. But if it does though, if the Rockets do blow a 3-1 lead to a rookie, Donovan Mitchell, and the Jazz, well, the Raptors won't have to worry about having the title of the biggest, I guess you could say, regular season frauds for much longer. But once again, I'd be freaking flabbergasted if the Rockets blew a 3-1 lead to the Jazz. So all of a sudden, Everybody wants to get on Ben Simmons for not having a jump shot. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's as if people didn't realize that he didn't have a jump shot all along. They weren't even harping on this during the series against the Miami Heat, but now that he's playing against the Boston Celtics and losing against the Boston Celtics, everyone wants to point out the fact that Ben Simmons doesn't have a jump shot, and some people are taking it even further, saying, oh, he's overrated, overhyped, he's nothing special because he doesn't have a jump shot. I see one person go as far as to call Ben Simmons a light-skinned version of Michael Kidd Gilchrist. So just a bunch of ridiculous things have been said. Anyways, that's not really what we have to talk about here. What we do have to talk about though does relate to Ben Simmons' jump shot, and that's Kobe Bryant kind of giving Ben Simmons some advice, or at least what he would do if he had the jump shot of Ben Simmons, and he just said that he would completely scrap it and start over. Just aesthetically, I would say build that thing anew. I don't think the game came down to that though. Honestly, I'm not worried at all about Ben Simmons not having a jumper yet. I do think that he should, and he will work on that this summer. If you just watch him during the pre-game warm, you can see him trying to work on his jumper a little bit here and there. And once he does add a jump shot to his game, you were talking about LeBron James 2.0. But once again, if you're going to call a rookie who averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a couple of steals, and a block per game overrated or overhyped or not that great or light-skinned Michael Kidd Gilchrist just because he doesn't have a jump shot yet, then I'm not even gonna waste my time arguing with you. I give up. I'm not gonna try and argue with someone who clearly you can't win arguments with those type of people. So instead, I'll just sit back, relax, and let the next 15 years of greatness that you will see out of Ben Simmons, you know, be all the proof that you need to realize that you were wrong. And the last thing that we gotta talk about today is Game 4 between the Pelicans and the Warriors. And this game was entertaining for like a quarter. It was a good game in the second quarter, and that gave us the impression that it was about to be an entertaining game to watch throughout. But unfortunately, that just wasn't the case, as after the half, the Warriors just dominated once again to take a 3-1 lead in the series. Kevin Durant scoring 38 points on the night and was just, you know, unguardable, and Jrue Holiday was defending him as well as anyone could possibly defend KD, always having a hand right there in his face, but it just didn't make any difference. And after the game, KD was asked one of the most ridiculous questions that I have ever heard, as he was asked, how would you guard yourself if you were you?
How would you guard you if you had to guard you? It seems almost impossible.
I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
You have no idea how you would guard you?
No.
What kind of answer did you expect him to say? Of course he's going to say that I don't know. KD might just be unguardable when he has it going. We all know this, but even if there was a way to stop him, you think that he would come out and say it, be like, oh, well, see here, the way to stop me from scoring is to have some stink breath. If your breath stink and you breathe in my face as I shoot, I'll miss 100% of the time. Next thing you know, everyone on the Pelicans has stink breath for the rest of the series, and KD never hits another shot. Who would nationally televise the way to shut themselves down? Even if there was a way to stop him, why would he let it be known what they could do to try and stop him? Anyways, that does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news and highlights. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, keep getting the buckets, Team STC, and I'm out of here.